Hello, everybody. This is Helen again. I teach at the Dorothy Benson Senior Services Center. And today we've got this one-day workshop on needle felting on garments. Um, Last time I did a four session workshop on needle felting animals, and I'll show you the ornaments I made just for fun. Okay, so here's a polar bear and there's a gingerbread man on it. Here's a mother polar bear with a Santa hat. Reindeer still needs horns, but it's got a snowman on top. There's a mouse with candy and a fox with a ball and a little tiny mouse sitting on top of a present and Mrs. Penguin with a candy cane. So this is fun to make, but let's say you wanted to update your wardrobe and you had some sweaters or some jackets that you're tired of it, and or maybe you were wearing it for work and you no longer work and retired. So um let's say you wanted to update it. So let me see. So I've got a jacket here and I've already updated it once. I cut it off and added binding and everything, but now I'm tired of it. So I might needle felt this one, okay? And that'll be fun. It is boiled wool, meaning it's a wool knit that I actually threw in the washer and dryer several times to shrink it and beef it up. So it kind of feels like a sweater when you wear it. It's very comfortable and kind of stretchy, okay? So I may do that to that one. And I'll show you what we did with one of them. All right, one of my students donated this boiled wool jacket. It was just plain, and I have started needle felting it. Okay, so basically it was just a plain blue jacket. And here I have needle felting and embroidery. And in some places, I actually started adding beads. And if you look right here, it doesn't show up very well, but right here and right here, there's little teeny tiny seed beads on there. Let's see if the light picks it up. It's really pretty, but not on camera. So you see how I combined embroidery thread with needle felting. All these little puffy thingies are wool roving that are needle felted, okay? So it's dry needle felting. Now, this is boiled wool. So what happens is on the inside, I guess I should open this up. You can use sweater knit. You can use, let's see, you can actually probably use wool coating, okay? You need kind of something fuzzy that'll grab the wool roving, all right? And I'll show you what happens when you punch the needle felting wool roving. It's going to come out to the back side and it's being held secure, all right? Now, this one, since this was just a demo piece, you can see all my knots from the embroidery. So it probably needs a lining, okay? On sweaters and things like that, you're going to punch and some more of the felt is going to show on the wrong side, and you can reverse punch, okay? And that'll secure, the wool roving, which has scales, onto the fabric pretty good. I'm going to show you a coat I made years ago. Let's see. Okay. So let's see if I could do this. Okay, so here's a coat that I made years ago, and it has needle felted. It has been needle felted, but I have a combination of needle felting, embroidery on top, and this is silk fabric I've appliqued on it. Let's see if that shows up. Okay, so all those puffy things are needle felted. Yeah, I can think you can see it. Okay. All right, let me move this out of the way. All right. So your best candidates are fabric that has kind of puffiness or beefiness to it, and it can grab the wool roving. I'm gonna see on this, on the, yeah, this is boiled wool, and when I did embroidery stitches, I actually ran it. It's hard to explain. Because it's beefy, you can run the needle. I'll show you what I mean. The fabric has a thickness to it, so you can run it in between. So you can't see it on this side of my needle. And I just ran it. I have it through here, but you can't really see it on this side that much, but it's there. Okay, so you can kind of hide your threads in there too. Let me do a little bit of that, unless I have a spot that's, here we go. Okay, so what I used was chain stitching. And let's see, we have right here. Oh, what a mess. Okay, so I've got white thread here, and this is number 5 pearl cotton. You can use any kind of embroidery floss, or, yeah, I just use this because it's has a sheen to it and it's a little bit more substantial. So let's say you wanted to add some more of this chain stitch. I'm actually going to take you can use chalk if you want. I'm going to see if this shows up. This is a white marker pen, and when you're drawing on it, it doesn't show up. But I'm not sure it's going to work on this fabric. Not really. Okay, so I'm just going to have to use chalk. Okay. Oops. And I'm just going to sketch out where I'm going to do the chain stitch. I might do a little bit here. All right. So normally, I probably should just hide this knot here. I'll try to hide it. Okay, so I don't have a knot on the end. That means I have to be careful. And what I'm going to do is, there's a seam right here, a bulky seam. So I'm going to slide this in between, or, like in the middle of the fabric. Let's see if, okay, a little bit shows on the back. I better redo that one. Maybe I should start here. Okay, I'm trying to hide this thread in between, or actually in the middle of the fabric. Okay, and then and that way I can hide the end. Okay, so that disappeared, and there's a piece of thread just in the, yeah, it's not showing on the back. All right, now to do a chain stitch, all you have to do is make a loop. It's a big loop, isn't it? Make a loop, go back to where you sort of came out. Okay, go a distance about, I'd say that's about 1/4 of an inch maybe, and then gently pull. Don't pull too hard, because remember, we don't have a knot. Okay, gently pull. All right, so we'll do that again. Caught on the button. Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll make a loop, go back to where you came out, go right next to where you came out. You're inside that loop. Come out about 1/4 of an inch. Don't pull too hard now. Okay, and that makes another chain. We'll do that a couple more times. I like the chain stitch because it gives us it makes a substantial line. And it's kind of easy to do too. Okay. So always go in the, that one's not that great. Okay, go in and make sure you're in the loop, all right? So here's my loop right here. All right, and the thread's gonna get tangled. Here we go. So I'm making a line here. Let me go ahead and make this line a little bit more so that we can add the needle felting there. In the loop. My thread length is a little bit long. It gets tangled up easily because it's a bit long. And every time I'm trying to slide the fabric, I mean, not the fabric, the needle in the center of the thickness of the fabric. And let's see how much of the thread's going to show. Okay, I have nothing showing back here because I managed to slide it in between, in the middle of the thickness of the fabric, actually. Okay, my thread's getting twisted. All right, I'm going to go down to this curve. All right. So you always want to put the needle back in next to where you came out. Oops. And I'm not using a hoop, embroidery hoop. I just don't. And especially if it chain stitch, especially if you're trying to get it, I don't think you can do this using a hoop because you need to feel where the center of the thick, you need to feel the thickness of the fabric, you know, whereas a hoop, you just go up and down. This one I'm sliding between, I'm sliding in inside in the middle of the fabric. They try to keep your chain stitches as even as possible. It'll look a lot nicer. And if this is your first time, practice, you know, start in a place that's not going to show up, so that as you keep working, you'll get better and better at it. And you want to maybe just work on places that are like not as, you know, not as, you know, like not in the front of the jacket. Okay, maybe a kind of like where the sleeve's going to hide, the arm's going to hide the garment. Okay, so I'm going to just finish here. And when I finish, I can take the needle and hide it between, don't make a knot and just hide it, run it between in the thickness of the fabric and just hide it in between, okay? So hopefully none of it's showing, yeah. Okay, so I've hidden it, none of it's showing on the back side, that's good. And we'll just snip this off, kind of pull on it and snip it, and then it should disappear. All right, so that guy's disappeared, and too bad I didn't do that for every one of these. Yeah, I just wasn't careful. Okay. All right, so let's move this out of the way. Now, all you need is either one of these 5, you either need like a single, you either need like a single, what is this called? Needle felting needle, yeah. I like my triple one, okay? And these are all replaceable. And then this is for fine. This has, let's see, how many does this have? 5? Yeah, 5 each, but this one's for fine needles and this one's for a little bit regular needles, I guess. They are replaceable, and let's see how you do it. I don't even know how, I've never replaced these, so. Okay, so this is where the needles are, okay? They're inside there and you just replace it that way. And I don't know, something fell out. Okay, I guess it has a little thing that, oops, a little metal thing that, yeah. My needles may be worn out, but I still use it. And this one, same thing, you can unscrew it and replace it. Okay, that's all you need. And this came from some kind of packing. It doesn't last that long, so it's free. And instead of going to the landfill, I can use this. It's a thick one. It works great. I used to have a brush one, but the brush one works okay too. I guess you can use that one. Yeah, I'll get my brush one. Let's see, where did my brush one go? Oh, it's sitting on here. Hold on. Okay, I've got the computer on the brush one. I'll show you what the brush one looks like. And I'll drop the computer. Okay. So my brush one looks like that. Okay. This probably works all right with garments. It didn't work too good with the animals. They also sell a like a foam. Okay, looks like a very fine sponge. Okay, you can use that too. I wouldn't use a sponge. It has to have like really fine holes and soft and everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and add something to this. And let's see. I need something here. Okay, be careful not to add stuff under the sleeve arm, the underarm. Okay, that's where the sleeve, oh, see that, yeah. Because wherever you're going to rub, it's going to rub that wool roving more. So you might want to avoid like under the sleeve and on the place where the sleeve touches the bodice. So I am going to add, and on this one, I think I tried to make it so that it worked good like this. Let's see. Yeah, because this is, the buttons are over this side. Okay, all right. And what I did here is I just let the chain stitch, crisscross go over and everything. I could use a bunch more here, but let me go ahead and do this one right first. All right, so this is a white. I should have used the green. Okay, let me show you how to remove your, what is it called? The chain stitch. It's really easy. And I don't have my, okay, remember we kind of hid it underneath? I'll use a needle. I'm gonna remove this guy. So what I'm trying to do is find that thread, that last piece of thread that went in between the fabric thickness. See if I can get that out. It's in there pretty good. It's not going to slide out. Now, if you use like rayon thread, it's going to slip right out. Not sure about silk thread. It might slip right out too, but rayon definitely. It has a smooth surface. This pearl cotton has a twist to it, so it's not going to slide out easily. Let me move this out. Should have just used a green pearl cotton thread. This white is awfully stark. I can't find, it's hard to see. Let's see if I pull that out. Come on out. Well, it's in there really good. Oh, wait, I can get this brush out of here. Well, worst comes to worst, if it's embedded in there that good. I just can't find the loop. I think that's it. Okay. A lot of the wool is coming with it. That's the problem. Well, I'm surprised it's in there good. I'm just gonna trim it down. Ooh, let's cut it off. All right. Now, what you need to do is to pull this out. You gotta get that. I can't see anything. Okay, here it is. Okay. All right. Get that out. All right. All right. So you get this loop, okay? See, it's not in that little loop. And this should, you know what, because of this wool roving, oh, this is a mess. Okay. I don't know where my, what is it called, seam ripper is. Where that went. Okay. All right, we're just gonna have to work on this later because this fuzzy wool is, it just grabs the, which is good actually. It grabs the floss. And it's stuck in there pretty good. Oh, I had to work on that later. Bummers. All right. Well, let's just jump to somewhere that I need to add the fleece. Oops. Wrong way. Okay. So I'm going to pick a color. I think you need a large work surface here. Let's see. Let's give it, let me see what colors I have. I got, could use that. Looks like we need some bright color somewhere. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Now, I can't tell you how much wool rubbing it requires. Once you get started, you'll get it. But let me do this. And then, so I'm just going to kind of crisscross it and kind of, you're going to need more than you think you need. Okay, so let me find a good spot. Oh, here's a good spot. Okay, we need one right here. So watch your fingers though. You might want to take your single needle so you don't stab yourself and anchor it down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to use my triple needle one because I like that one. Okay, don't put your finger by the needle because it will hurt. This is something I don't recommend doing with kids. You know they're going to poke themselves. Okay, so I'm kind of anchoring it down right now, getting it. And I'll show you how much sticks out. Okay, we got a little bit coming out the back. I could use more, so I'll just do more. The more you do, the smaller it's going to get. Okay, so now I want, okay, so I still don't have a whole lot coming out because that's how thick this wool jacket is. Now with the single one, I'm going to move clean it up by poking around the edge. I'm just scooting the fibers. Okay, and then I kind of want to move it closer to that and stitch there. Okay, now I gotta clean this part. Let's see if you can see this better. Move it. So you can take some of the fuzzies and scoot it in and fold it over and kind of anchor it in the center of your piece. I'm going to take my 3 needle gun. In the beginning, you might want to do something simple like this. If you're trying to get a specific shape, it kind of requires a little bit more experience. They also have like forms, and you might be able to cut out like a stencil out of heavy paper or like a plastic stencil sheet. And you just be careful you don't break your needle, but that'll help you give you a specific design. So let's see how much of it came out. So a good bit came out. Okay. Now, if I want to make sure that's going to absolutely stay there, I can go ahead and do a little bit like this. Okay. But since it's pushing it out on the other side also, then I go back and hopefully it's all interlocked and in there pretty good. Okay. So it's in there pretty good, and it's kind of on the flattish side, and those little holes will disappear. Okay, this one's really puffed out because I had so much wool roving. So if I want this to puff out, I can just add more wool roving. All right, some of these look like they should be like cleaned up a little bit. Let's see. Okay, now let's find another place to do. Oh wait, I only have one green one there. It looks a little bit obvious. I better put another one somewhere else. I'll put it there. So you want to kind of like spread it out, like, pull on it and then kind of crisscross it. All right, kind of turn it into round shape. I'm going to put one right here. So carefully, I need to anchor it down. Yeah, you can't watch TV with this, all right? And then to clean the edges, screw it in, move it over on the edges. Looks like this guy needs to be cleaned up. If you want this to be a little bit puffier in 3D, you can use a single needle and poke on the edge. That part of the wool roving will sink in more. Kind of make the center puff out a little bit. I'm hitting the embroidery thread. It's caught in there. Just slow around the embroidery thread. Let's see how much of it came out. So not much of it came out. I'm going to put it down. Now, if your garment won't shrink if you hit it with a steam iron, you can hit it with a steam iron on the back side, and that kind of helps it shrink and grab around the wool here. Okay, but this guy obviously needs to be lined. All right, especially because I have so much on here. All right, so I put another one there, right? This one looks lonely by itself, so maybe I'll put a tiny one there. Oh, if I can find any green roving. Let's see it right now. Not this idea. Totally disorganized here. That looks like almost the same color. Okay, you can buy this stuff online. And sometimes you can get packs of a bunch of different colors, but they're only like this small. You only get a little bit. Sometimes you can get the whole thing, it has needles in it and a foam or something. Those might be good for beginners, and try it on, on a sweater or something that you're not going to worry about. Now, if you poke it too much, you actually end up cutting the fabric. So if you poke it like just keep poking and poking, but eventually you're just going to cut the fabric. So be careful. Just poke it until it's enough. And also if I keep poking this and poking this, all of these wool, all the wool roving that's sitting on the front is going to end up in the back. Not beautifully, but it's kind of interesting. So I'm just carefully poking this, taking the single one to kind of define the edge here a little bit. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to find another place because I'm going to show you how to add a color to this, like a bud or something. So where's a good place? Here's a good place. Oh, wait, I'm upside down. Okay, I'm going to add something here and let's do this color. Okay, so I'll do this color. So I ordered one of those things where it had a bunch of different colors. So that's why I have all these colors in it. I'm just going to roll it up. And this one's going to be kind of maybe on the big side. So rolling it up. Okay. And let's see. I'll put this. Well, that's huge. It's probably way too big. Yeah, that's going to be like a huge plum or something stuck on there. It's supposed to be flower. Okay. I'm just going to bunch it up. I'll put this one here, anchor it down. Because I'm doing an abstract flower bud thing. I don't have to be worried about the shape as much. Whatever it ends up. Anchoring it down. This one's going to puff out a little bit. I think it's going to puff out. Okay, I'm going to fold this over. Get it in there. That huge puffy thing. Wait, I mean, it's gotten tiny. Okay, let's see how much came out. See, not much comes out on the back. I'm gonna anchor it. Still not much, but okay, then go back. It looks like a giant grape. Okay, I'm kind of poking around the edge because I want that to go in and be more defined. I'm going to poke around here because I don't want this part to stick out that much. Okay, now let's put a little tiny something on it. How about something peachy color? This, I think, is like a peachy color, right? Take that out. Okay, just a little bit like this, okay? I'm gonna undo it so it can have places to grab each other. I'm just gonna see if I can turn it into a roundish ball. Maybe not even a round ball. So just needle felting might not be that exciting on your jacket, but if you combine it with embroidery stitches and things like beads on it, and you don't have to like bead the whole thing or, you know, embroider the whole thing, but here and there, I think it's going to add more interest, giving you a more dimension to your piece. And let's say years down the line, you got tired of the jacket and no longer wanted to wear it. I guess you can cut it up and turn them into gloves or a little tiny pouch, or cut out a square part and make a little pillow. Okay, so this one just happened to be like kind of fuzzy, like not exactly perfect, and I kind of like that. So I'm going to see if I can keep that, and I'm going to use the single lead needle to do that. I'm going to poke in certain areas, see if I can shape it into, make it look like it might have petals or something. So when you poke in one area, it sinks down and makes this dimensional. So it looks like little berries on here, white berries on here. And if I put like little tiny seed beads in between, that would be perfect. Seed beads are those little tiny glass beads, and you have to have like a special bead needle and very thin either beading thread or very thin thread. And those bead needles are super thin, okay? Okay, I kind of made this three-dimensional. It's not like a flat white thing, okay? Any of it showed on the back. Maybe I'll poke it a little bit. I can also poke it at an angle. And if I have a big area, I can use the fine fine needle one. Kind of not push it too hard. Let's see, yeah. Kind of fix it on this side. So this is a super puffy one. I can sculpt it, but poking it. Let's see if I can show you what it looks like on camera. All right, not sure if that's showing up, but see it's 3D. Okay. And if I add tiny seed beads, just a few here, that might be interesting. I can also put little embroidery stitches there too. Okay, that looks good. All right, so let's do another one. Okay, here's one with the beads on it. You can see it. And then the beads, they're here, but they also come out onto the fabric right there. Okay, so you do the beads afterwards. I have a sprinkling of beads. This one, oh, I like this one. This one, I put the beads on just on the tip, and I have a bunch of them. So they're 3D, they look cute. Yeah, same here. And then if you look here, I have two tones, okay? I had the dark purple and then the light purple and then a bunch of beads here. So, and then here's one where I just have just a few beads. So not in your face kind of thing. This one has different color beads because this is yellow. Well, I don't know why I did that, but it looks good. Okay, that looks good. All right, let's do one more. Then we'll probably call it quits. All right, let's see. I did that. Some of them look like leaves. This is like an imaginary vine. Let's do one with like, let's see if I can do one with two petals. All right, let's see what color should I do. I'll do this one. And if you have a bunch of different colors, you don't have to use just one, one solid color. You can take these and kind of bring it out like that, and then add a different color. Let me see what this is. Okay, this is, I'm just going to bring it out like that. Okay, you can actually mix these. Okay. To mix them perfectly, it's kind of hard, but you get like a little bit of more depth to it. Okay, so yeah, that's okay. Oops. Let's see if I can mix a different color in there. So light pink. Okay, let's try the light pink. So you want to just spread it out like that. Just mix, mix, mix. Okay, so you can actually put one color there and put another color on top, or you can do this and get it all mixed up and just see what happens. The more you mix it, better, but it's hard to mix it evenly. It's not like liquid or something. Okay, so I'm going to divide this in 3. How's that? And then shape it kind of like a skinny petal, maybe. Who knows what it's going to end up. And I'll put one here. That's going to be fat. Anchor it down. Should use a small one. Now, I can fold this tail over and mash it in here. Sometimes if I have too much, I just take scissors and cut it off. Okay. Get this one in there really good. So it's hard to see on the camera, but I can see shades of pink, red, and then the dark red. It just gives a little bit more depth to your piece. All right, petal number 2. Maybe, okay. Let's say you wanted to make this petal 3D, like it's not all stuck on there. You can take it and form it over here. Flip it over. Now this is easy to do on the foam, but impossible almost to do it on the brush because the brush shares. Grab it too much. So I do it on the foam. And you would just keep poking it until you get the shape, just like you were doing it as if it was on the garment itself. I'm holding on to it with the tail right now. Poke it some more. See if I can get it the shape you want here. We're not going to really be able to work on it that much on the garment. Keep flipping it over and doing the other side. All right, so I've got this little kind of like a petal. Maybe I should fine tune it a little bit, huh? Up a little bit. I'm going to return this garment to the wall at Benson. So if you get a chance, you can actually see this. Okay, so this is actually going to be 3D. I may just do 2 here because it looks cute. And we'll do it this way. Okay. What I'm going to do is just anchor it down at the base. I should have tucked in that tail underneath. Okay. And I'm only going to needle felt it the bottom third-ish. Okay, so it's not on there completely flat. So that's what it looks like right now. It's not on there completely flat. I do have to anchor, get some of that around a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, poke it here so it's separated from. Poke it on the edge. Okay. So this is now not completely stuck. It's half of it's floating up. Okay. I think I'll put like a little, what do you call it? The thing in the center of the flower. And I'll just go ahead and put a white one. Okay. A yellow one might be too obvious. Let's see what that's going to look like. It might be too big. I'll try that. Be real careful. I'm going to lift that petal up and work on the white one. When you do something abstract like this, it's also a very good learning experience. You find things that you don't expect to happen, and you go, I like that. Okay. Sculpt it some more. And just kind of make sure it's on there good. You are kind of sculpting it, okay? Okay. So now what's going on is this one has a little white thing that if I put beads on it, it's going to be much nicer. But it's 3D, okay? So it's really cool because you can have some really 3D stuff going on. Yeah. Yeah, this can be addicting too. You'll get frustrated if you don't have all the colors. So if this is the first time, just, like on, just order online. And the kit might be good because it comes with a needle. It won't be the best needle probably, but so this is what it looks like so far. And we did this part, okay? So if I add beads to this, I think it'd be much, much nicer. Okay, right now, or even some embroidery detail. I think that's going to come out really nice. So I'll return this and hang it back up in the hallway at Benson. So you can see all the thing I did. I can keep going on and on and on until the whole thing's completely done. The only thing I wouldn't do is under the arms. Let's see, it goes like this. And you have to kind of pay attention to where it buttons up and how it's going to cross over. I haven't done this part yet. This, I'm saving it to last, but I may just bring some over. Okay, so it kind of connects, right? So that's what it looks like. The thing I would be careful is if you carry a purse on like this side, be careful of how much you put here because the purse strap will rub it. Okay, and avoid under the arm. Okay, and wherever the two fabrics are going to rub as you walk. If this was a longer jacket, I wouldn't put it on where your seat is. Okay, that would be not a good idea. All right. So be careful where you put your design placement. You don't have to do it all over the whole thing. You might just want to do it just on one side or just on the shoulders or something like that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this and give it a try. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.